What is going on, everybody? Bobby Fire, Eric Sheets-Haber. We're going to be talking through this MLB slate. I'm here with the big winner from last night. She shipped the monster on FanDuel for those of you guys who didn't know, and yeah, things have been pretty good. And I did want to use a really quick second to say use code Finals2025 for 33% off your first month. And yeah, we're going to get into the slate. So Sheets, ready for a repeat?
No, I don't think I want to win FanDuel tonight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think I want to DraftKings, I think.
Okay, the smaller one. I'll take the FanDuel then. You
yeah,
can have the DraftKings, I'll take the FanDuel.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's unusual for a Wednesday that we don't have like a split slate and all the full games on Wednesday. We just talked about this pre-show. For what it's worth, Sheets and I both crossed out the Cincinnati game. The weather there looks a little too risky to mess with, so not going to be doing that. That's for sure. And
there's some weird lineup that just got changed, I think. So I had
what was it?
I had Soler.
Pretty much every lineup has come in the wrong way. It's a Wednesday, so I'm
right. So I had Soler and Christian Moore in, and they're out. I had Rhys Hoskins and Larson Nootbaar in. I think they're out. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to fix a little of that.
Yeah. I mean, one thing that's interesting is that so I think the ownership is going to it's going to be Houston is going to be the most popular tonight, I think, as a team. The Yankees are hard to get in with the top pitching. So I understand that they're projected to have some ownership, but I don't think it's going to be at a level that it's so high where you can't play them. Yeah.
Okay.
Look, they're facing one of the worst pitchers in baseball at home. If I don't want to be a slave to the recency of how poorly they've been hitting the ball. I'd like to probably get back in there on them personally. So I think they're kind of interesting. But what are you getting right now? Both pitching. Start off with pitching, and then we'll talk about some hitting.
Pitching right now, my again, I'm pretty well. I would say done or whatever, but again, I have to fix the couple of teams lineups, but I currently have most exposure in what? You say something?
I'm freezing up a little bit. I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on right now, but for some reason I'm freezing up. Just making sure that I have these doors open.
You sound good to me. Anyway.
Easier access.
Anyway,
it keeps cutting out. I didn't hear anything you said.
Oh,
but you're good. The people did. Sorry.
All right. So I currently am getting.
Here, can you hear me?
You're just interrupting me whenever I start talking. Sorry. I don't know what to say.
I can't tell. It's frozen, so it pops in at different points. It seems like you stop talking and then it pops back in. So okay, go ahead.
Do you want me to talk or do you want me to not talk?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. All right, so I'm currently getting like Taj Bradley, Bubic, Gray, and Sale, but I'm getting more Taj Bradley than Sale. That's just the way it's happening for me right now. But those four, and also Valdez. So I don't have anybody much different than the field, but I guess that I would say that I'm a little bit more heavily weighted towards the Bradley Bubic side than some people might be. Some people might have a little more Sale than I would. So that's I guess is where I'm different as far as the pitching goes.
Yeah, and I get it. For what it's worth, your projections have Bradley pretty significantly higher than SaberSim. Higher than Goldie's does, and you also have him lower owned than SaberSim does. So I get why they're playing that. So I don't mind the Taj Bradley thing. I have Sale, Bubic, then Sonny Gray. Not getting all that creative for the pitching, and then Valdez, then Bradley. But I think Bradley may end up being my third highest owned by the time it's done. I do think Sale and Bubic are my favorites, and you're going to have value out there today just naturally because Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Mondays, that's just always going to be the case. You're going to have some funny lineups out there, especially with a number of lefties on the mound, which means that those guys are pinch hit risks, but it also means that, that is what it is. Did you say what you had of Sonny Gray? I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I didn't hear that one part.
Yeah, I have some amount, like 15-20%, something like that. Again, nothing really particularly different. but just like my weightings, it's a little different. Like I have more Taj Bradley than the other guys.
Yeah. And for what it's worth, and I'm not suggesting do this for the lottery, I like this play. I think playing some Severino is not the worst idea in the world. And I think playing some Logan Allen is not the worst idea in the world for the lottery, especially. What about the stack sheets? What are you looking at as far as stacks on DK?
Same as before right now. I mean, most of it is Padres is my highest own. And then a lot of late stuff. I am getting some chalk, some Astros, and some Dodgers. Those are my top three right now. I'm not, and then some Kansas City too. So a little chalk and a little non-chalk right now. The good news is, whatever. I'm not getting any like SaberSim stuff. Like I'm not getting like a lot of Mets, against the Sale. I'm not getting White Sox really against Gray. I'm not getting Texas against Bubic, and I'm not getting. I wouldn't have minded getting some Oakland or some Athletics, and I still might. You know what I mean? Like if things are not chilled, and I might end up having to play some Athletics again instead of Dodgers if need be. Okay. But
yeah. And as we were talking about, you still plan on doing that thing 11 Eastern. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make it tonight, but
that's all good.
If I can. So 11 Eastern, Cheats is going to do a live sweat. And just to give everybody a heads up, we are going to be doing more behind the paywall stuff. A lot of these shows are going to end up that way, and that's just what's going to happen, going forward a little bit. So what I'm getting is I think the Dodgers are I think the Dodgers, it's crazy that they're not higher owned to me. I think that they're the best option on the board. They are hard to get to, I guess, is the argument. But don't be surprised if right now we don't know who they're starting for them. Don't be surprised if like Dalton Rushing plays instead of Will Smith tonight, and that would make them a little bit easier to get to as a stack if we were to go that way. And so it's going to be Dodgers for me, number one. Number two, Arizona. Number three, New York Yankees. And number four currently is Houston for me, followed by Toronto and the Athletics and San Diego. I'm on FanDuel, which I guess we can jump over and talk about. I'm just playing a couple lineups, and I have a combination of Dodgers, Dodgers, Padres, Yankees, and Blue Jays. Those are the teams that I have over there. For what it's worth. I should point out that these two games in Chicago both have like some weather issues. It doesn't seem like they're unplayable. Like for Roth, who shout out to Roth as always. He's got them as flat out orange. He actually just changed it from orange yellow to orange. It's a little risky. I'll be honest with you. So maybe I might limit, if not shutting it down, I certainly may end up just limiting my Sonny Gray exposure, limiting any of the stacks I have there, which aren't really too plentiful for me anyway, but it's probably worth noting that. All right. Sorry about the early stuff with my screen. It seems to be working fine now.
Oh, good.
All right.
What about that pitcher that you like? The young guy. You like him?
Which one?
Who's the guy from Toronto? Is that where he is?
The
guy with the name,
Oh, that's in the Chicago game.
Yeah. Okay.
And I wouldn't like him tonight. No, I don't like pitchers against the Cubs.
Okay.
Just because they're too dangerous. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about some other things. I'm actually gonna have to rebuild here in a second because I really think that when I see this ownership on the Dodgers, I honestly can't believe it. Like, it feels way too low to me. It's kind of strange too because they have like basically tied with the Yankees or right near the Yankees with the highest total on the slate. And if people really don't want to play them, I'll take all that ownership. It's the hottest day it's been for any of the night games in LA this season. It's the hottest it's been of any day in LA this season so far. So I think it's a really good spot to both the Dodgers and the Padres are very much in play.
I've heard rumors that this guy from the Padres likes to keep the ball low. Is that true?
Doesn't worry me at all. I don't really care. Give me a below average. Well, I don't even know much. I mean, I know a little bit about him, but nothing that says anything good.
I mean, I might be making that up. I've heard that somewhere.
Yeah, maybe that's what he wants to do. He's been wild consistently. His walks per inning are pretty bad. He's only given up. It is true he hasn't given up a ton of home runs, but he hasn't really we've only had him really fully starting for 7 games, and he's given up 5 home runs. Give up 2 in his last start. But I don't. With teams like the Dodgers, I really don't worry about that stuff that much. I just think you have every type of hitter when you go through that lineup, and I think I'll just take my chances. And while keeping the ball on the ground is definitely something that it should be considered when you're stacking. I don't know that for full 5-mans, if you're kind of betting on them getting to him anyway. And to me, the walk rate was more important in this case than that's just what I found more than the whatever ground balls he's been throwing.
I wonder how much of my Padres exposure is being driven by that 2K guy.
That's interesting because I did not I have some of them, but I hand built and we'll see if he's 2K. We'll see if he plays.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He pinch hit it for a home run last night, so it seems like a good time to let him have some hacks at it. I just wanted to give a thing. I'm going nuts here because I'm in the middle of this whole lemon lawsuit for my car. I haven't had another car for a couple weeks because I brought a brand new ID4, the VW. It's a really nice car, but it just doesn't ever work, and it just shuts down in the street, and I can't seem to. I don't know what to do right now. So
I think it's the same people that manufacture your computer. I think.
Well, my computer is a great Mac. It shouldn't be like that. It's just been a lately thing with the Restream for whatever reason. Maybe I'm running out of space. All right. Yeah. That's a different thing. All right. So yeah. So when I reran things, I'm up to almost, I have 44% Dodgers right now.
on FanDuel, since we brought that up, pitching wise, it looks as though, let me see. I imagine, it's going to be very similar, but let me just no, actually, maybe not. Yeah, I'm getting a bunch of. I'm going back to the whatchamacallit, the quality start train on Valdez is my top guy on.
Sure.
On FanDuel, and then on by a lot though. That's a little scary. I mean, I literally have 50% Valdez.
I don't think it's that. I mean, I think it makes a lot of sense. The one thing is, you're not really getting a price discount with him, so I'm kind of surprised it went that direction.
Yeah.
All these guys at the top are so similarly priced. I think you're just going to end up seeing Sale be higher on. But again, it is a tough matchup for Sale, I guess. And the A's have been struggling a little bit. But the one that stood out to me over there is Taj Bradley is only 8,400.
Okay.
And yeah, definitely lower quality start percentage, but has the right matchup to get a quality start with the way that Baltimore's been. And I think that it's good. It's a big savings on him. If you wanted to get Judge and Ohtani in a lineup or something like that, that would be the excuse to do it. I did run my golf stuff. I guess I can, since I'm not sure about later, I guess I can talk a little bit where I ended up.
Sure.
I have Fleetwood as my highest owned on both the FanDuel and DraftKings. And I have, again, I'm underweight on Scheffler, and I still have 28% of it. Then I've got Xander, Ben Griffin, Jordan Spieth, Oberg, Straka, Morikawa, JT, Bhatia, Fitzpatrick, Rory, then Berger.
So here's my question to you. So I mean, you like to, put your takes on top of the board. How do you suppose you got to what you got? Do you think that you would have gotten how much more did you get to the guys you liked because of you forcing them in as opposed to
almost all of them because I forced them in more.
Cool. Okay.
And it's worked. I mean, in golf overall, it's worked well for me. I'm good with it. And I've run these things so many times, and I'll probably run it again before I make my final decision. but like, you know, I knew I just really wanted to take a stand. I have a really strong feeling that Fleetwood has a great tournament, and I think it's a pretty.
He's going to have an amazing tournament and get sixth.
That's okay, but by the way, that's fine at his price.
Right.
That's awesome. But I think he legitimately could win. He's going to win one soon, and this seems like a good enough spot. Everybody,
I mean, it's what he does. I mean,
yeah, I mean, but the thing is, he wins tournaments every time he's not in the PGA Tour tournaments. He always wins them. Like,
okay,
it's just a weird thing that he doesn't win them on the PGA Tour. And it's hard to win tournaments. You know what I mean? Of course. It's obviously, especially in golf, unless your name is Scotty.
Yeah,
it's. I mean, remember forever it was like Xander was like always the bridesmaid, and now
yep.
You know, we've finally changed our stance on that one.
Excuse me, it wasn't too long ago before Scotty started winning.
That's true, actually. Yeah, he was like
the best guy never to win a tournament for like a while.
Yeah, that's true.
And then he won everything.
And then he never stopped. But yeah, I guess the biggest one I'm a difference on the field is probably going to be Spieth. Really like Spieth. What he's been doing lately. I'm reading into this too much. Maybe the Brewers are usually, we talk about this all the time. They always get their lineups in early or whatever. Or I mentioned it a lot. And the fact that they didn't get them and the Cubs got their lineups in just now, I'm not sure what that means. I'm not saying it means anything because that game's not for another 2 hours. But usually these guys, like the Brewers, get their lineup in like 7 hours early. So I don't think you want to play any of the hitting in that game anyway. Wrigley, it looks like it's coming. It's shifted towards like the left field, coming in from left at like almost 15 miles an hour. So not going to be playing the hitting. I guess, you know what? I guess that means I just exit out, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not going to be playing the hitting and I don't really want to play Tyon or Mizorowski in this matchup, I think I'd probably just have to exit out, which is weird because I'm not going to X out the other game in the White Sox because I do have some Sonny Gray, and I think that any team is stackable against the White Sox, and the White Sox have the wind blowing out, so it's going the other direction. That's one change I got to make and see if that does anything for me. So I'll just X out that one. I always say this on these, you know, it's tough after you go through the morning stuff because I don't really, with baseball, it's not like basketball where we're getting news in and you're speculating, then it changes what you're doing. You sort of have a general idea of what you're doing for baseball, and it doesn't take as long to go through. So if anybody has any questions or thoughts, please feel free to drop them in and say anything you think. Who do you think, who does everybody think wins tomorrow, Game 6 in Indy? What do you think, Sheets?
Yeah, you know, I like the NBA conspiracy. I think they like the Game 7. So let's get the Pacers a win. I think.
Okay, I love it. I have the Pacers as well. I hope I'm right, but we'll see, I guess. All right, just getting the Cubs out of here. All right. And I am gonna just. I know it didn't quite get there last time, but I think this might be like literally like a locking of. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is like, does it even make sense to lock Mather in when I'm playing like 100+ lineups, like as a captain? Because one, you need a very certain route, and there aren't 100 combinations without leaving like a bazillion on the table, like literally like 8,000, 10,000 on the table. So I'm trying to decide how to deal with that because I really think that it's I think they need him on the court. I think they've gone. They realize it. They know they need to play Mather in earlier, more often, and I expect him to get more run at home. And when he gets the run, he's certainly not shy about doing it, and he can make plays all over the court doing a lot of things. It's pretty weird. This was my bold take about the series. And it's too bold to say that he's going to be better than Halliburton, but it wouldn't surprise me if in 4 years we're looking back and people are without knowing or anything saying, boy, you know, I think we really should have, how did they not realize that Halliburton was their best player? You know, I know he's 22 years old, but I really think Matherin has the future of like a superstar. I wish I could just bet on him on like what was that one that used to do like a stock exchange thing where you could bet on players and teams and franchises and stuff?
Right.
That would be kind of cool to do with him because I really like that. I just think he's so like there's so much there. I just think he's still trying to figure it out. And you know, in the NBA, if you don't figure it out by the time you're 22, everybody acts like you're never going to, which is ridiculous. considering it took Giannis, took Jokic. Look at all the best players in the league. It took Shea. Shea when he was 22 was a nobody, you know? And
how old is he now? Like 24? I mean, like,
he's 25.
Okay.
But I mean, he was a part of the Paul George trade, but the 7 first round picks was the real part that got that trade done. It's just kind of interesting. And I mean, look, Jimmy Butler wasn't anything until he was 20. Kawhi Leonard was not a thing until he was 24 or whatever. And Mathurin, I think, is going to be the same type of thing.
Where did he go to college? You remember?
Mathurin went to I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm curious though, so I'm gonna take a look. College. He Arizona. That's right.
Oh, really?
He also thinks he's like you watch him play, and he thinks he's the best player on the court all the time, which I think is a really good trait to have. Some people act like it's a bad thing. I'm like, I want everybody. I would love to have.
Reminds me of like the Kuminga.
But like Kuminga, but like a really skilled version, like a much better version of Kuminga. That's what I see him as. But I actually think I still have not given up my hope on Kuminga either.
You see the Lakers news today?
What did we do?
They sold the team.
What?
Sold controlling
really
interest.
How did I miss that?
To something Walter for like 10 billion or something like that.
What?
Yeah.
How did I miss that? I was like, I went to the gym, so maybe that's when I missed it. Wow. Oh, okay. So the Bus family is entering an agreement with sell the majority of the ownership for the Lakers to Mark Walter, the CEO and chairman of Diversified TWG. Sources tell you. Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Well, that's the end of an era.
Yep.
I mean, that's weird. I'm actually, to be honest with you, I actually thought it could have sold for. I mean, I would have thought it was more than 10 billion. Actually, I would have guessed. Funny story though. We went to this friend of Raquel's, my girlfriend's birthday on Saturday, and it was the night after Game 4, and the one of the girls who works at this restaurant that her friends own. It's like a small little restaurant, nothing fancy or anything, just like a nice little. They do Argentinian food and stuff like that. And the one like another American there, I can say this because nobody knows who the hell I'm talking about, but her mom owns or her dad, I guess, owns the Pacers. And she had just flown back from Game 4, so that was kind of
wild. I think Walter owns 20% or 25%. He's definitely the majority Dodgers owner. But I don't know how much he has. I think like 20-25%.
How are they letting that happen? I thought we weren't going to do that in the leagues anymore. But okay, well.
Hey, but he's good, Walter. I mean, he's
yeah, they'll put money into it for sure.
Yep.
I'm just sort of surprised. I also didn't know that was legal. Like it wasn't for a while, so I don't know where that stuff stands. Remember when Mark Cuban, there was a lot of speculation when he sold his majority that he was going to buy the Cubs, because that's why he sold the Mavs thing. But other people thought he was going to run for president, so I don't know which is which. But he didn't run for president yet. All right. Everybody else likes OKC, but everybody's liked OKC every game, so it's not anything new. Have you been watching any of the game sheets of the most of the final or any of the finals?
Some of it.
Yeah. I've really just enjoyed it. I miss this type of basketball being played. Like I haven't seen it in a while, and I really like just team basketball, and doesn't matter who scores, and not at the isolation ball, and just really, really nice basketball. All right.
But there's like something where, even though it's been sold or whatever, like Bus is going to still remain like the team's governor or something like that, whatever that means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it makes some sense. And I'm guessing they're not going to do anything with Pelinka yet. You can't really fire a guy who just pulled off one of the
right. No, that's what happened. So that's what happened with Cuban. Like Cuban, for whatever reason, whatchamacallit, didn't retain any control or whatever, and that's why what's his name Harrison took over there, and one thing led to another, and Old Mavericks franchise fell apart.
And well, then they got the golden goose. They got repopulated for the rest of time, basically.
Yep.
You know what I have to say? Like, I know you think it's crazy, and I know you're not a fan of those kind of conspiracy takes. It does feel weird because when the Luka trade happened, so many people were saying there must be some sort of under the table deal with the league or something. This makes no sense to the Lakers and all that stuff. And then of course they end up getting the #1 pick, which is just, I don't know how that could have possibly, it's just, the whole thing is so weird to me that you could trade him and then get your future superstar when you were like you weren't even a borderline playoff team. You were in the finals the year before. You had a legitimate chance this year again. I don't know. The whole thing is just really, really strange. What if Kyrie was never injured? That was another thing that I keep hearing people say. I don't know if I buy that one. Anyway. All right. Anything else we should go over for this or relates to this baseball slate?
Well, I am redoing the projections just because of the new lineups or whatever. Just because I have a little bit of time and I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, as usual, watch these late lineup changes, and obviously watch this weather. This could all, this Cardinal game could, who knows,
Yep.
Like you said, it was yellow, orange, now orange, you said?
Yeah. It was orange, yellow. Now it's orange.
Whatever. I mean, that's a thing,
yeah. Both of the Chicago games. Yeah.
When's that game? Is that 8:30?
7:40.
That's close,
Yeah. And I don't think it's going to be like a clear decision. Like, I don't know, just a gut feeling that maybe they don't actually know for sure. By the time it happens, I have maybe they do. I don't know, but I guess the weather in Chicago, like it's tough with the wind.
Are you doing anything with stacks like artificially? Or you're just going to let it run tonight?
Let it run.
Okay.
If we lost those two games, I still probably wouldn't force anything, but I would definitely be more okay with like some funky stacks because then this split, 3 games smaller all of a sudden.
And also, there's no like real chalk team. You know what I mean? Like,
right. My guess is if you lose those 2 games though, because you're going to get some ownership on some of the Cardinals, and yeah, I think that it would just make the Houston thing just everybody who's got players left would be going Houston's direction. I think. Maybe
just a couple of quick little administrative things. So I did put up the UFC the first UFC video for the weekend today. Tomorrow I am out for early, but I will be there at 5:30.
You're out tomorrow for the first, and then
yes.
Let's just take a look at the slate tomorrow because I'm not sure what it is. I have a feeling there might not be like
a regular main slate. You then?
Like, why would you go up against the finals? And they've already done this before during the playoffs a couple times.
I don't think they care about that.
Well, they do with the schedule. They announce it all the time. Like,
okay.
And we've had no Thursday after. We've had like the maybe the 2 or 3 gamers they've had in the afternoon a couple times on Thursdays. But in general, like, let's see. Okay, let me just see MLB schedule. Because I would like to actually have some idea, and so we can.
But there's the NBA tomorrow. I mean, like, you want to do something.
Right? No. We'll definitely do something. I just want to make sure that I know what I'm getting into because you've got a bunch of early games. Oh no, it's actually more games than I would have thought. There's 5.
Yeah, so I'm not going to be around for that. I'm going to be out
for the evening.
Wait. Actually, what time is the slate?
So there's like a 12:40 Eastern time.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely not around for that.
Okay. And then I don't know if that's when the slate starts. It might be 1 Eastern time. The other one, I'm guessing they'll start it at 6:40 so they can get the extra game in. There's only 5 games on that one.
Yeah, that I can do.
Yeah, go ahead.
That I can do. All right, so I guess I'm gonna run. I will see everybody or whoever. I'll be on at 11 doing my thing. If anybody wants to join me, I'll be there.
The timing is perfect because my computer is shutting down here. So I don't know what's going on. I'll take a look at it and I'll have my friend who's a computer guy figure it out. But I'm going to get out of here. Good luck, everybody, tonight. And yeah, let's make some